and welcome back to Autism at Home, brought to you by us at Early Autism Project Malaysia through our non-profit initiative, the Hope Project. My name is Jochebed Isaacs and I'm answering frequently asked questions on this 27th series on Autism at Home. So far, we have answered questions on how to know if a child has autism, how early can a child be diagnosed, and so today I'm going to answer a slightly tricky question, but one that we have actually been asked many times, and that is if developmental assessments are important and necessary and even applicable to children with autism. Now, one of the psychology classes we learn in university is how to administer intelligence testing, which are essentially developmental assessments. And typically, most of us will not really have gone through these IQ tests unless for some specific job requirement, perhaps, or if there's any health or medical concerns. When it comes to children on the autism spectrum or children showing any developmental delay, this becomes much more important as a full set of assessments will actually cover IQ, language, as well as adaptive behavior, which includes motor skills, social skills, and independence. Standardized developmental assessments need to be both reliable and valid and have been conducted with a large population of participants in order to derive these standardized scores by age groups, with of course a slight range of points for any deviation of scores. Therefore, when a child is presenting a developmental delay and goes through these developmental assessments, we are able to have a clearer picture of the child's developmental gap and the areas that this child needs to be able to progress in over the next 12 months. So for example, the child is 3 years old and demonstrates an IQ score of 70, whereas typically developing children have an IQ score of 90 to 109. That's average IQ. And this child's preschool language skill shows that they have an 18-month gap in their overall language, and this is consistent with their parents' response on the Vineland Adaptive Behavior Scales. These scores now become their baseline scores, which means before any therapy is conducted, this is where the child is at. Then our clinical supervisors, for example, at our company at EAP, will plan out the child's therapy program. And the goal will be to try to narrow that gap as quickly as possible over the next 12 months, 24 months, or 36 months. Because in 12 months' time, this child who was 3 years old is now going to be 4 years old. And therefore will need to improve not only those 18 months gap, but also the additional 12 months of progress that he or she is expected to make as they turn from 3 to 4 years old. This means that that child actually needs to progress 30 months of skills in 12 months of time in order to close that gap. 30 months of skills in 12 months of calendar time with an IQ of 70 is going to be very difficult for any of us to achieve. And so we often see with children who are even the rapid learners that they will improve perhaps 18 to 24 months in 1 year. This means that they may still have a gap of 12 months or maybe even just 6 months, and we hope to completely close that gap in the second or third year of therapy. I really hope I haven't lost you with all those numbers, and that it's hopefully clearer why developmental assessments are so critical and so important. Firstly, because they give us the clearest picture of where a child is at in comparison to what is expected of their age. With that, we're able to identify clearly the developmental gap the child has in order to work as best as possible to close that gap. And lastly would be to help not only us clinicians, but more so parents in making better long-term decisions. This is because based on the year-on-year assessments, we're able to gather more accurate progress, and based on how much progress a child makes in 1 year, this helps us confirm how quickly a child can learn. For example, are they able to learn rapidly, moderately, or gradually? From our experience, children who are able to learn rapidly are usually able to make progress that is well over 12 months, perhaps gain 18 to 24 months of skills in just 12 months of treatment. Now, a more moderate learner may make improvements of 12 months in 12 calendar months, while a child who learns more gradually may take 12 calendar months to only learn 6 months of skills, which means that their developmental gap may be widening. And so as I finish answering this question, in no way are developmental assessments meant to limit or cap or judge any child's capacity and incredible potential. But it does give us a clearer picture as to whether they are able to learn gradually, moderately, or rapidly, and therefore adjust not only our teaching strategies but also our expectations of them, and hopefully be able to support them in living to their best potential. This brings us to the next frequently asked question, which hopes to answer what would be the best next steps or the best intervention for them. Thank you very much for joining us today, and please do not hesitate to contact us if you need more personalized support. With the amount of interest we have received online, we have actually started providing international services online and have worked over the years with clients in other states of Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Philippines, China, Kuwait, New Zealand, and even Switzerland. So do get in touch with us for more information by scanning the QR code. And if you haven't already, do check out our online resource platform, Autism at Home, which has all the lesson videos, corresponding articles, and downloadables available for you for free. Do stay updated through our social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Do click on the subscribe and follow buttons to get more information. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.